World of Wellness. I'm your host today, Jamie Dorley, with the co-host. Welcome back, Joe Messino. We are here live at the World of Wellness for Wine and Wellness Week number 98. Quickly approaching 100. And the great news is that it's a beautiful day here in Pittsburgh. We are having an open house all the way till what time tonight? 7 p.m.?
I'll be here till 7 o'clock tonight when it's still bright and sunny.
So come on down. We're doing a lot of great activities so that you can participate in. And you do not need to be a patient, a client, or a customer, or need to pay anything. All you need to do is show up. So today we have all the great workshops. So we're going to kick it off right now. And we're going to have fun today because at 10 o'clock, I'm going to go into a very important presentation of how to read labels. Because the labels are talking, you may not be listening. So this is an easy way to be able to read labels, not just for supplements, but how about food?
We got to read every single label of everything we put in our mouth. That's the bottom line. The food products, because remember, there's a difference between foods and food products, right? We learned that from Dr. Tracy a few years back. When it's made in a factory, it's a product. It's not necessarily a food, so you got to read those labels.
Yeah, regardless of where it's made, you got to be able to read the label, right? So that could be for drinks, right? Sure. Like a can of Coca-Cola has 38 grams of sugar. Most people don't know that.
No.
And that's probably more than you need for an entire day or maybe week. So we're going to go into how to read labels on foods. We didn't stop there, of course,
Never.
because there are a lot of over-the-counter medications that people assume are safe.
Yeah, and they were once prescription-only pharmaceuticals, and now they're over-the-counter for anybody to buy.
Well, some, yeah, and some were brought out as over-the-counter. But either way, we want you to be able to read the label, and just because you don't need a prescription doesn't mean they're always safe, and you got to be able to take them. I remember Dr. Len, who was a traditionally trained pharmacist, he said, a pharmacist's job is not to give you medication, it's to help you take it safely. And that's what we want to do today.
Yeah.
So show you how to read labels for over-the-counter and prescription medications, of course, because oftentimes you hear people saying, I don't know what I'm taking that for. Right?
Yeah, they just follow doctor's orders, right? Blindly follow doctor's orders. And those inserts, Jamie, to those prescription meds, they're a book. It's not a label.
Yeah, when you start unfolding that, and you better grab your readers or magnifying glass, because there's a lot of things in there you need to know and you may not know, right?
You know how we tell people a lot of times, if there's words on that food label you can't pronounce, it might not be a good idea to eat it. Well, that's the majority of the insert. Most people can't even pronounce it.
Yeah, and all the disclaimers in there, all the risk factors
They're
are
all
right
in
in there.
there.
And if you don't read the insert, at least pull it up on your phone. All you need to do is go to Google and type in Lipitor side effects, and there'll be the list. So these days it's so easy, there's no excuses. And of course we're going to go through supplements, because supplements are not created equal. We just heard one of my mentors, Dr. Jeffrey Bland, the father of functional medicine, talking about the latest JAMA articles questioning the therapeutic nature of supplements, even though over 20 years ago they said you need a multivitamin, right? So propaganda, beware of it. It's out there. And it even applies to food and supplements. So we're going to help you read labels so you can have a strategy. And we're going to really focus on a couple key ones. Multivitamin and mineral, omega-3 fatty acids, right? And then probiotic and enzymes. So,
right, because with all things, foods, supplements, there's going to be levels of quality, right? And that's where reading the label really comes in handy.
Yeah, so we're going to have fun at 10 o'clock reading labels. Give you some really simple examples to look for, right? And you can always bring your products in to the World of Wellness, and we'll do a free nutritional review. We're here all week to do that. Bring your bag of products in. And oftentimes I find there's really a hybrid of products, right?
Yeah.
I find some obvious ones that are no good, that are very low dosed, poor forms, and have other things you don't want.
Oh yeah, we found them that have additives and colors in them. I mean, it's just incredible when you really break down the label.
So we usually take those and we recommend you put them in the basket of shame.
Yes.
Shame.
Shame. Shame on you.
So we're going
Shame
to put
on you
them in the
once.
basket of shame. Now, don't be discouraged, because I started with Centrum years ago, right? Teenager, you just buy the vitamin that you see,
Right.
and you don't know. And then over time, I learned more and more. So if you're doing something, it's okay. Are you ready to go to the next level?
Exactly.
So you can bring the vitamins in, and oftentimes we find that they're no good. There are some vitamins that are good, but they may be single nutrients. And then we have the more comprehensive formulations like we have at Nutritional Frontiers and some of the other partners we have at the Wellness Center.
And the source of a lot of the nutrients is important.
Yeah, it's the amount, the source, and what else is in there. So
Right.
bring your vitamins in or schedule time with one of the healthcare professionals and bring them in when you meet with them.
Exactly.
So very simple things we're going to show you today at 10 o'clock. And then 11 o'clock, he's back.
He's back. The goat. He's back. What's he doing today? Oh,
Breaking
joint
news.
and bone health. Nice. Breaking news. He stole that phrase from me, but that's okay. You always steal from the best, right? But yeah, breaking news on joint health, bone health. You know, it's funny, sometimes with all the things going on, Jamie, sometimes the most common ailments get a little overlooked, right? And that's bone
Yeah, and
joint
still
health.
one of the top things people are suffering with is any type of pain.
Right.
It could be bone, it could be joint, it could be muscle. And a lot of people are inflamed.
Yeah.
You know, I was just talking to a woman here at the Wellness Week yesterday, and she had a lot of chronic back pain and inflammation, right? And we started talking about the biomechanics and saying, look, a lot of this is muscle because the joints are unstable.
Right.
You know, if you're having higher levels of body fat, that creates a lot of inflammatory response, right? Then you factor in tight muscles. So there's some natural therapies you can do, not only the physical medicine of coming in as a patient. Are we accepting new patients?
Every single day. Yep, look, Dr. Orbach's there right now. He must have a little bit of free time. He's picking orders. Look at that guy.
So how do they schedule an appointment if
Give
they
us
want
a call, 412-922-9355. Or if you come in this week, you can schedule it in person.
Yeah, so give them a call. That way when you come in, you have the appointment, right? 412-922-WELL, 412-922-9355. And we have a variety of different practitioners. So we have 2 doctors of chiropractic. The great things with them is they can diagnose your physical condition, whatever it may be. And there's often a combination of bone, joint, and muscle that they address. And they do very unique therapies. So when you come in and they do the treatment plan, it's always customized.
Exactly.
And what they're doing is they're hitting not only the adjustment, but also the tight muscles, right? And then any type of trigger point, myofascial release, any type of the muscle therapy you need. So it's a combination of adjustments, stretching, and muscle work.
You have to have all of that. You know, you get people that think that there's a very limited array of treatment with chiropractic, right? And it's not. It's wide ranging. And then on top of them treating the body itself with their hands on, we have other things like the laser, the class 4 laser, like the cupping. We have the inversion table, and we have the boots, the compression boots. So there's so many things going on, folks. You really got to come down, take a look.
Yeah, and what Mike's going to really hit on at 11, Mike Gallagher, is what are some of the natural therapies you can do in addition to the chiropractic and the muscle work? And one of the hottest ones we've been learning a tremendous amount on, especially recently, are these SPMs, the specialized pro-resolving mediators, that are really fantastic for, you know, I was doing a presentation yesterday and, you know, looking through more of the education. And it's interesting how the SPMs work because not only do they cool down the inflammatory process that sometimes nothing's working or we're getting partial results, but it's cleaning up that debris so that your body can accelerate the healing and the immune response.
It does so much in your body, and it's amazing that a nutrient that we've only had for a year has made such an impact on so many people at so many different levels. One of the things I hope Mike touches on is, you know, I remember, Jamie, and you remember too, when first time I heard Doc say, "There's no such thing as bone on bone. You wouldn't be walking in here." But that term is used all the time.
Yeah, and I think the reason they do it is because they have advanced degeneration in the cartilage, right? Yeah. So there is some cartilage left, but there's bone actually being exposed.
Yeah.
And we got to look at some of the nutrients, right? No different if you were remodeling your kitchen, right? and you had a little fire in the kitchen, you have to put the fire out first with
Yes.
SPMs or X-Flames or Inflam. You have to cool down the inflammation. Then the HA Plus or the Super Cal are actually the materials to rebuild.
Right.
So if you don't have the right materials to rebuild the kitchen, it's not going to look real good.
No.
If you buy the
And
cheapest,
it won't work well.
right? If you buy the cheapest materials, it's not going to last very long.
Right.
So Mike's going to go through the dietary, the chiropractic, and then what are some of the nutrients you can do that will really help you depending on what the goal is, and you can use them in combinations,
Oh,
right?
absolutely. And of course, the nutrients we have here, HA Plus, still #1 seller in the entire clinic because it works.
What does it do, Joe? Because we've had HA Plus actually even before Nutritional Frontiers. It was one of Dr. Weiner's black and gold label products that we grandfathered in. But the research is overwhelming on almost 20 years, 18 years now of research. So what does the HA Plus do?
Well, it uses a patented research trademark form of collagen for hyaluronic acid, BioCell type 2 collagen. And then the key ingredient is that it's helping with the production of hyaluronic acid in the body. And that's all through the body, not just the joints. All connective tissue require hyaluronic acid. That's key ingredient. And then there's also glucosamine in there, tried and true over the years. But what I think is one of the secret ingredients in there, it's not secret, it's on the label, but what helps that healing process is the MSM.
Yeah, so what the HA Plus will actually do then for somebody, if you have, excuse me, if you have advanced degeneration of a joint, the HA Plus is going to help you rebuild the cartilage, which will actually act as a shock absorber so that you'll be able to take more pressure when you're walking up and down stairs or bending down or squatting or walking or running, whatever you may be doing. So you need that HA Plus to rebuild the cartilage so that you don't have as much pressure and pain on the joint. Plus, half the research is actually for skin health.
It is connective tissue. And years and years ago, they only used it by injection because they didn't have one that was bioavailable. Well, that's why this form, this BioCell type 2, is bioavailable.
So we're not making any claims, but we're just providing all the research for you. If you're suffering with any kind of joint pain, neck, ankle, elbow, wrist, hips and knees is probably, and back are probably the most common, right? And remember, the bigger the joint, the more degeneration before you'll actually feel some kind of change, right?
Good point.
Bad or good, right?
Yeah.
So if they're telling you, hey, you need a hip replacement, that's because that hip has tremendous degeneration, right?
That's such a great point because if you think about it, if you injure a finger, you know it immediately, right? You know if there's something going on, but the bigger joints take a little bit longer to set in. But once it sets in, then there's an issue.
So if you have that opportunity to take something to rebuild, it's always a better choice to do that first than get the hip replacement or shoulder done.
You can always, like you always say, you can always get the surgery. You don't have to do that first. You could do that last. Let us help you first because we've helped a lot of people prevent and put off those types of surgeries.
So Mike's going to be talking about those natural solutions at 11. And at 12 o'clock, we have the gut guy back. Over 40 years of experience in the natural and pharmaceutical world. He's got a very unique experience because most people haven't done both sides.
Right.
So what's he going to be talking about today?
Well, the gut guy's going to talk about what he loves to talk about, and that's his clinical experience and the people he's helped. His top case studies that he's done with patients one-on-one, and you don't get any better results or information than that.
So what are some of the things that people are suffering with when we say gut?
Oh boy, well it could be anywhere from poor digestion to all the way up to and including some of these debilitating conditions like Crohn's, like irritable bowel syndrome, irritable bowel, inflammatory bowel.
So I keep it really simple. Let's go back.
IBD.
Let's go back to kindergarten. A, B, C's, and D's, right?
Yeah, right.
So A would be acid reflux.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Anybody suffering from indigestion, acid reflux. You know, B is going to be bloating.
Yeah.
A lot of times people may not be sick. They don't have IBS. They don't have an autoimmune condition, but they're often bloated, right? Just look at them and ask them how they feel. You know, C is going to be constipation. A lot of people will suffer from constipation, and it may alternate with chronic diarrhea. Right? So those are some of the simple symptoms you may be experiencing. Could be painful, you know, they could be more intense in some than versus others. And a lot of people are taking over-the-counter purple pills. Prevacid, Prilosec, Nexium, Tums, Omeprazole, all these different things that, you know, are really just masking some of the symptoms. And you may need that at times. However, if we can go after what some of the underlying causes may be, you may be able to safely taper off these over-the-counter meds and then replace them with something like Probzyme.
Exactly, and that's where he's going to come in with these studies, his own personal case studies with patients, because they got to the cause, reversed it, alleviated it, and then the healing began.
So those are some ways you can participate today. We'd like you to come in live. We have seats here in the lobby if you want to watch us live. You can pick up the streaming service, so you can pick us up through the stream, through Facebook, YouTube, right? Any which way. You can also just pop in anytime you want, all day today. Or you can call in. If they want to call in, what's the best number?
Call in at 412-922-9355 or 412-922-WELL. And you know what? Believe it or not, we're still accepting some fax orders. How about that? 9330 is the number for fax. But you can go on the website also and put in the code WOW30, WOW 30, and get the discount as well.
Yeah, and if you want to just call ahead and just pick the order up, or you want to come in and browse around, we do have free, healthy, organic Italian Piata food today. That's from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Right.
So lunchtime is normally 12 to 1. We're going 11 to 2. Okay? So
it's an Italian lunch.
you can't come in at 3 and get lunch because it's over.
It's over.
But it's 11 to 2 today. So you can pop in all week on your work break or just when you're out and about in the town. So do not need an appointment. You do not need any ticket or coupon. You don't even need to buy anything. Just come on down for the free lunch.
Exactly. Come on down. We're happy to serve you. And then while you're here, come on in. Take advantage of some of the samples and the smoothies from the bar that's always open, the smoothie bar, and take advantage of some
Well,
of
I'm going to make a couple of my favorites this morning. So we had a fun day with Shake a Day Club yesterday. We tried some new ones. The chocolate peanut butter cup and the Messino Cafe Mocha Protocino. So what's your favorite one?
Still the Protocino, although Purple Haze is a close second. Love that Purple Haze.
We may have to bring out the Purple Haze today.
I think so.
We have a lot of good ones on the list. So if you come down, you can always request one of your flavors. I love the banana strawberry medley, right? The tropical island punch. We also have some of the favorites, right? The power cleanse and greens, which is a really nice pineapple coconut flavor. So a lot of different flavors to try out. So come on down. You have to be live to get those. And if you come in and buy anything, we do have the Louis Vuitton sample bags,
you
right?
think they get those bling bags at all those award shows, right? Well, you ain't seen a bling bag like this one, folks.
But you must come down to actually get one.
You got to come down.
You might get one sample on your mail order, but if you come down, you get the full
bag.
You get everything in there.
Everything in there. About $100 worth of samples, I heard.
At least 100.
At least.
Yeah. So come on down today. We are open all day until 7 p.m. If you want to shop around, come on in. If you need help, we're here for you. Free lunch, free smoothies, free workshops, free literature. And if you buy anything, everything's on deep discount. So have a great day. Have a great week. Enjoy your trip down here. You can bring any family and friends.
Bring them all.
And you do not need an appointment. So any parting shots, Joe?
Look, let's take advantage of this beautiful Pittsburgh weather and come on down. Get out in the sun, right? Come on down. Sit outside and eat that great free lunch. We got tables and chairs out there. So we want to see you. We'll be here till 7.
So thanks for all support. We appreciate it.